giving to yourself. Take a breath. Like the old saying, when the oxygen mask falls down in the plane, you got to put the oxygen mask on yourself first and then the child. And a lot of us do-gooders, caretakers, good-hearted people, we're constantly trying to take care of everybody else. We're constantly trying to say yes to everybody else's yes, and we're not filling ourselves up first, and we're running on empty. And we feel burned out, overwhelmed, resentful, angry, and then we repress the anger and we become addicted and we eat over it, we work over it, and all of that. Sound a little familiar? Because we suffer from this shadow of feeling like it's selfish to give to yourself. It's selfish to take care of yourself. It's selfish to want what you want and to have what you need. We've been conditioned that way, and it's completely false. Check it out. The law of circulation states thus: you cannot give what you don't have. So you have to have it to really give it. Now we can fool that ourselves because we can have the experience of giving and giving and giving, but when we're doing it from not having, we are depleting our energy. We are ultimately pulling it from the very cells of our body. We ultimately, like I said, activate anger, resentment, burnout, overwhelm, and we project it on the other person and they feel blamed and it never really was their fault because we're the ones doing it. And then, it just becomes more and more breakdowns, until hopefully we have that breakthrough. But the truth is you cannot give what you don't have. That's the first part of circulation. Then you cannot keep what you don't give. Now you got to circulate it. Then you finally cannot sustain what you don't receive. It's one cycle, one circuit, as in energy, like one breath. Got to breathe in, got to breathe out, got to breathe in again. If you just breathe out, 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 I'm just a giving, loving person, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, you're going to die, right? And maybe you feel like you've died a little bit inside because you're in those kind of relationships. And if you just breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, you're going to die. So you have to have this flow, this circulation. You have to fill yourself up. And the key here is whatever you're trying to get from anyone or waiting from anyone, you have to start to give it to yourself. Like if you're waiting for love and respect, you ask yourself, if I loved and respected myself, how would I treat myself? If I loved and respected myself, how would I show up today or in this relationship or at this job? Not, well, I'll show up when they show me some respect. If they love me, I'll love them back. No, because guess what? All the love and respect and everything you're withholding from them, you're withholding from yourself. And so you have to first fill yourself up with whatever you're trying to get, then you start to circulate it. So if you want, let's say, more love and respect from your boss or from your spouse or your kids, you have to actually start giving that to yourself. It's not going to come from them. It never did, it never will. It has to be generated and activated within you. So you have to ask yourself, if I loved and respected myself, how would I treat myself? How would I show up in that relationship or in that job? If I really loved, and whatever the quality is, if I really valued, if I really validated myself, if I really knew I was beautiful and talented, whatever you're trying to get or wait for some kind of acknowledgement, how would I show up? How would I hold myself? How would I treat myself? And you start to, it'll lead to new conversations. It'll lead to you doing less of some things. You starting to say no to their yes and yes to your yes. How would you like to start saying yes to your yes? How would you like to have the confidence and the power to know that you can say yes to your yes and all of your needs will be taken care of and you'll have more left over to share and to spare and to serve and to circulate? But if you don't fill yourself up, if you don't give everything to you that you want, then you won't have it to give to others. And you also won't have it for yourself. So it's ironic because it's not selfish to fill yourself up and take care of yourself. It's profoundly selfish to not. Because then you're burning yourself out. You're cutting open the golden goose to give away all the gold and you kill the goose. So it's profoundly selfish to not take care of yourself, to not give to yourself. Now, just take a breath because I know, having worked with so many people around the world, this is a really powerful wound for a lot of people. They don't know how to take care of themselves. They don't know how to love themselves and serve and fill themselves up. It's one of the reasons why you're struggling, suffering, lacking, because you're literally running on fumes. Or it's like trying to float a boat with a big leak in it and you're sinking. I know what that's like. I was Mr. Nice Guy for a long time. And it's really true, nice guys finish last when it's nice guys. But when you're filling yourself up and taking care of yourself, you have something real to give. So I promise you, as you learn this and practice this, you're not going to become selfish, even though some people might try to initially tempt you to believe that and push back because suddenly you're not, waiting on them hand and foot. But as you hold your place in this, and I'm going to talk to you in the 4th video about how to do that permanently and put it on autopilot, your life flourishes for you and for everyone involved.